few years back, I was on my way out of a liquor store down the street from my house, and there was a young lady who was standing on the end, like right next to the doors, on the inside of them, and she was physically shaken, so she looked scared. Um, and I asked her, I said, "What's wrong? Are you okay?" And she said, "No, my boyfriend's out there, and he's going to do something to me." And I look out and I see this guy pacing back and forth. Right on the outside of the doors, he's pacing back and forth, waiting for her to come out. And to someone who's broken, and to someone who, you know, is susceptible to that type of intimidation, I can see how it could be intimidating, but I wasn't intimidated by him whatsoever. So I tell her, after a couple minutes of telling her that I'll protect her and that he's not going to do anything to her, she finally decides to come out the store with me. And I tell her to walk with me. I'm right across the street from this convenience store. And as we're walking, he's just a few feet behind us. And he's just yelling out these things that are demeaning, um, saying hurtful things to her, just cruel, just being really cruel with his words. Of course, one of them is, "You're nothing without me," you know. So, but I knew that I had her for a very short time. And so I knew that I wanted to pour into her as much as possible. So I began to whisper in her ear everything opposite of what he's saying to her. And I'm telling her, you know that you're a queen. You know that you're beautiful. You know that you have a purpose. You know that you can rise above this. You know that you're needed and you're wanted here. And your presence is important on this earth. And as I'm saying this, she began to be a little bit more comfortable because she's very shaken up. She's very shaken and she keeps looking back. And after a while, she stopped looking back. And she began to tell me her story, that he had gotten her strung out on drugs, that he had gotten her at a point in her life where her family was not speaking to her. And she said she loved her family dearly, but she had messed up so much behind this guy that they didn't want to have anything to do with her until she got rid of him. But she said, "I can't let go of him. I can't because I love him." And she said, "I was so smart. I had a good job. I had my education. I had a degree. But this man had a hold of her." She was a beautiful young lady from the inside out. I mean, outside, yes, she was very beautiful, young, had a lot going for herself physically. But the inside, she was very well spoken. Um, and it just seems like, to me, it seemed like she was just kind of had gotten lost along the way and just got caught up. It happens. I've been there. And at the end of our walk, when we reached our destination, I gave her a hug and I told her everything is going to be okay and that she'll be just fine. It was in that moment that I knew um, that I wanted to be a spiritual life coach because I wanted to save her. Like, I wanted to kidnap her and take her to this incognito place and heal her. And I knew at that moment that I wanted to be a healer and that I wanted to uh, be the person who opens up people's eyes and lets them see who they already are. It's not that they're not that, it's just that they don't know that they're that. And I just, I didn't have anywhere to take her though. And that sat with me for a long time. Like, it bothered me. Um, and I often pray for her still. I don't know where she's at now. I hadn't seen her anymore since then. Um, but I knew that if I wanted to save others, I had to save myself first. I had to stop putting poison inside of my body. So After a while, I checked myself into rehab for alcoholism. I knew that, and before that, I knew that I had to stop putting bad foods in my body. So I lost over 100 pounds. I knew that in order to heal others, I had to heal myself first. It starts home first. It starts with home first. And, but I knew that that was who and what I'm supposed to do is help and heal. And that's why I began this channel, so that I can begin that work. Since I've already worked on myself, my work can now start with others. So welcome to my channel.